CCX Sports presents coverage of high school boys basketball. It's our season opener, and what a great matchup. The two-time defending state champions in Class 3A, Totino-Grace, coming to Minneapolis to take on the Hopkins Royals. From the Royals Activity Center, John Jacobson, along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, great to be back for another year, and what a terrific game we've got to kick off our season.
Oh my gosh, you couldn't ask for a bigger game. I'm missing my own son's basketball game because I wanted to broadcast this. You got two of the best teams, powerhouses in the state, different classes, but so much talent on the floor tonight, so I'm really excited. Arguably, maybe the two best teams in the state.
It's the first game of the season for Totino-Grace, whereas Hopkins opened the year last week with a win against Orono, put up 93 points against a good Orono team.
Yeah, that Orono team's very good. They lost a little bit of talent last year, but still very good. Hopkins putting up 93 points tells you their offense is in mid-season form already. We're going to talk about a couple of their key players, but their offense, their guard play, they will push the pace and they can score from anywhere, John.
We expect Totino-Grace to be very good this year, but they're definitely a different team. They do have to replace some scoring. They lost 3 of their top 4 scorers from a season ago.
Yeah, but there's a championship pedigree. When you've won 2 championships in a row, these kids, a lot of the guys that are going to get opportunities now, maybe played on JV last year, they would have started for the majority of high school teams around the state. So a ton of talent, really good depth and height and length. They can shoot it, they can play inside out. So they got everything at Totino.
Let's look at our key players, starting with Totino-Grace. Isaiah Johnson, he's a veteran of this program, was on their state tournament team and high D1 player heading on to play college basketball next year.
Yeah, he had an amazing summer too. I got to see him a lot this summer, really took off. Very athletic. Besides you, he might be the most athletic guy in this gym tonight. You're going to see him playing above the rim. Extremely hard worker. He can score, he can shoot, he can drive. He's an athletic defender too. Just a really good player. Fun to see how hard he's worked. His stock over the last 2 years has really taken off, and he's going to be playing at Miami next year. Excited to see his senior year.
Hopkins has an outstanding backcourt. Underclassmen, one of them, Anthony Smith, had a great opener of 32 points against Orono on Thursday.
And he's another kid that I got to see a lot this summer, and I was just telling you, John, he's one of my most favorite players to watch just because of how fun he is. He can create his shot. He's got unlimited range, super quick, athletic, and when he gets it going, along with Jaden Moore too, those guys are capable of putting up 70 points between the two of them. So as good a guard play as you're going to find in Minnesota in the backcourt for Hopkins.
I don't know that it really is going to affect either of these teams, but we should talk about the possible effect of the shot clock in high school basketball this year. I would think in end-of-game situations, end-of-half situations, it comes into play. Possession by possession with these clubs, I don't know.
You're not going to see it much throughout the course of the game. Maybe when there's a late foul or an out of bounds, you'll see it come up, but what I love is at the end of a game, if you're down 4 or 6, you don't have to automatically foul. You can actually play defense. So I love what it's going to bring to the end of the game. Both of these teams, as fast, athletic as they are, get up and down the floor. You don't score 93 points by running the shot clock down, so I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Should be a great one. We're looking forward to it. It's Totino-Grace Hopkins boys basketball live next on CCX. We are live at Hopkins High School, the Royals Activity Center, and ready for tip-off a little before 7 p.m. on this Tuesday, first Tuesday in December. Totino-Grace and Hopkins. John Jacobson, Ryan Iverson, happy you're with us tonight for what should be a terrific basketball game to kick off our season.
I love when schools just schedule tough like this right out of the get-go. It's not like college football where you get a few cupcakes in there. You're going right into it. Top teams, top talent, good crowd. We got the band here. CCX is in the house. What more could you ask for on a Tuesday?
Chapman, Watley, Young, John Ambola, starters for Totino-Grace. Along with Johnson, Ellis, Moore, Smith, Hart, and Semenko for Hopkins. Royals in their home black with the royal blue trim. Nice dish off pass, and the first 2 baskets of the season here at home go to Julius Ellis.
Yeah, and the big fella had his hands ready there, and that's Anthony Smith. You see how explosive he is. And you got to respect his shot, so he gives you just a little bit of a look, able to beat his defender and make the unselfish play.
3 ball from the corner is up and good, and Totino-Grace in the lead. That's Tion Chapman. You remember his brother last year, Hasten, who's at Ohio State, gets the first basket of the season for Totino. Turnover, run out the other way, and layup try not good. Ball tipped out, last touched by Totino-Grace off the hand of Chapman.
Yeah, and Tion, really big, strong kid, really skilled, can shoot the basketball. Only a sophomore, too. You're going to see a couple sophomores starting for Totino. Very talented class.
3 ball here comes up a little bit short for Anthony Smith. And possession for Totino-Grace. Wadley into the front court. I talked to Coach Carroll before the game for Totino-Grace. He said, what's the biggest difference between this team and last year's team? He said, we're going to run more. Yeah. Not just because of the shot clock, just we're going to be that kind of a team that's going to attack and run more than we did last year. Foul on the way to the basket on the drive by Isaiah Johnson. As you look at Nick Carroll, 7th-year head coach. Last 2 state championships in Class 3A.
Pretty unbelievable. And I'll tell you, I won back-to-back state championships in football in high school. Winning one is tough, but when you defend that title, you know you're getting everyone's best shot all the time. Really a remarkable feat. But back to your point, John, they want to play fast. They have athletes at all 5 positions and depth coming off the bench. So they feel like they're going to have that advantage almost in every matchup as far as speed and athleticism.
Johnson shooting right into that Hopkins student section, makes the second one, and it's 4-2 Eagles. Foul is on J.J. Semenko. Right to the basket. Oh, and a great block from down on the block, and turning it back to Totino-Grace. Chapman able to block the shot there of Moore.
And I think if Jaden doesn't lose that ball, he probably had a free layup there. Him dropping that ball allowed Chapman to recover. A nice block.
Drive and kick to the corner. Chapman missing on the 3. Loose ball chased down by Smith. He goes down and almost turned it over. Able to get the pass off. Now it is turned over as Johnson has it for the Eagles. Head to Chapman. Back out on the wing. Drive. Kick to the corner. They'll go back. Johnson. A little lay-in up and in. How many steps? 3 steps to get from out beyond the three-point line to get to the basket.
Well, he's got great strength, but you can just see the finesse too, right? The skill there, almost like a ballet dancer getting between defenders.
Spin move and then losing the ball was Semenko. So turnovers and back-to-back possessions here for Hopkins. 6-2 Totino-Grace. Johnson with it again, draws the double team. Baseline drive going all the way to the hole, and his shot affected a little bit perhaps by Wadley. Couldn't get it to go. Smith to the basket, up and in, and he's fouled. Averaged over 20 a game last season. I mentioned 32 in their opener against Orono last week.
You talked about getting up and down this floor. These guys are getting up and down, and there's that quick, explosive move. And, Tion Chapman, Gardner, who's got quick feet. Anthony Smith might have that quickest first step of anybody in the state. Just a pure scorer. And I'll tell you, it's all set up because when you can shoot the ball, just like play action in football, if you can run the ball, play action is going to work. If you can shoot the ball, it's going to allow you to get into the lane. And he's got great body control.
Backcourt foul on number 11, Davey Hart. Second team foul on Hopkins.
Yeah, and the other thing that's nice always with these two teams is you're going to get man-to-man defense. They're not going to zone. They're not going to shy away. They're going to pick you up, and it is mano-a-mano. Great intensity on every possession.
Played not quite 3 minutes, 6-5 Eagles. A fadeaway jumper on the baseline. Nice shot up and in for Chapman, who's already got 5.
Yeah, and he's 6'4", realizing he didn't have a shot all the way to the basket. It's such a lost art as that pull-up. And you add a little bit of a fade, too. No one's going to be able to contest that.
Traveling, whistled on Semenko. Hopkins turns it over. Officials timeout here. We get a team timeout. It's like a Hopkins timeout here for Ken Novak. 35th season.
That's unbelievable.
Has had a head coach. Had a team that really had a chance to go to the state tournament last year. They were up double digits on Wayzata in that second half and unable to hold the lead. And Trojans go on to win their second state championship in the last 3 seasons.
I'll tell you, I mean, he's just always going to have his team in the mix, right? And sometimes these programs that you are used to winning all these state tournaments, you give them accolades when they do. I thought maybe last year might have been his best coaching year, one of them, when they don't make it. And maybe he had a young team. He was starting a freshman, a sophomore, had a lot of young guys playing, and he's gotten these guys to buy into to playing together, playing hard on every possession. So not a surprise that Hopkins is going to be up near the top yet again, and a great job by Kenny Novak just getting them to play together.
Well, and you look at their top 7 in the rotation, Ryan, even this year, all underclassmen,
Yep.
not a senior among the group.
And that's not always easy as a coach, right? Especially, getting kids to take over and be assertive, but to do it within the framework of the team and to emphasize winning. And he's done a great job of that.
Well, pressure that was broken by Totino-Grace, but then the cross-court pass picked off, transition the other way, contact on Smith. He's looking for a fall out of bounds off Totino, so the Royals do keep possession.
Yeah, I thought Watley did a nice job contesting that with both arms straight up in the air, not to get a foul called.
Lob into Ellis, ball loose on the floor, and Ellis turns it over. Here's Johnson. Jadambola down low, and knocking it away from behind, but getting a little bit of arm was Jaden Moore, who picks up his first foul.
Yeah, Hopkins fans did not like that one. Let's see. Again, nice job creating there. You see Dolphin going up.
Got a little arm,
Yeah.
It looks like. Malachi Hill and Vince Jacob checking in for Totino-Grace. Hill, a freshman, Jacob, the junior. Inbound comes to Njadambola. And traveling extra step there and dragging his foot was Watley.
Yeah, the other nice advantage too, John, is Isaiah Johnson at 6'7" can bring the ball up, right? So if you're playing a team that's pressuring the guards, you give the ball to your 4-man, have him bring it up. He's pretty nice luxury to have.
Ball knocked away from Moore out of bounds. So look at the last time these teams played at Totino-Grace, a great one, 86-84. Eagles winning. Johnson at 18 points, and 3 guys figured in that scoring. They're all here tonight.
And a nice underneath out of bounds that time. Julius Ellis slips and gets an easy layup. His second basket of the game.
Johnson lobs it to the front court. Watley, handoff. Jadambola starts to drive to the basket, and then back off to Watley. Right corner, drive, and a block on the shot attempt by Jacob. And out of bounds off Jacob. It's Hopkins basketball. Terrific defense there.
Yeah, that's twice now we've seen really good contests with the arms, and anytime you bend them down, watch them going straight up here. Yeah, really nice job contesting that without fouling with the body too.
Semenko on the defense there. On the drive, we get a foul here on Totino-Grace on Moore's drive to the basket. And
Jaden Moore, too, another one who's just so quick that it's easy to help on him, and he's such a good passer, too. And that's why it's so difficult to defend Hopkins, because where does the help come from? And they got so many guys that can shoot.
Foul is on Malachi Hill, his second team foul on Totino-Grace. The Eagles leading by a point here early in the first half. Ball deflected, turnover, as Jacob comes in and knocks it away.
Yeah, he did a great job. He didn't have the size match up there, but able to get around, use his quickness, get that deflection. Nice
Drive
pass.
the dish to Johnson in the paint. Through traffic, he'll go to the line.
Chapman, good drive to that baseline. That's what you got to be cognizant of. A guy's cutting. When someone drives to the baseline, Chapman gives it up. Nice catch, good finish there by Isaiah Johnson.
Fouls on Hart. That's his second. Johnson back to the free throw line. He's 2 out of 3 tonight.
And I think that's an aspect of his game he's worked so hard on the last couple of years, is just his shooting in general. Isn't going to shoot a lot of threes, but he's capable of it. But that mid-range, and especially his ability to get to the foul line and then not only get there, but make them. Huge, huge improvement.
The Eagles trailed 2-0, but they've led since. Seems like we played a lot of basketball. We only played 5 minutes so far. It's been a good start to this one. What a drive to the basket and the finish by Smith.
He's really become a great finisher, too. He's not a huge kid, not the big size and weight, but plays very strong, and he's very capable of finishing.
Johnson, the basket. They just don't have somebody right now that can match up with him.
And smart job by Totino, too, getting him in the middle of the floor. You get that ball in the middle, you're going to have some openings.
Smith, Johnson out defending on him. Back out it comes to Moore. Sophomore drives to the basket and he's fouled. Oh, offensive foul on Moore. Vince Jacob holding his position, and Moore gets whistled for the foul. And that's Jacob getting over there.
I was going to say, initially, I didn't think he was there in time and slid in after he left his feet, but I think he got there.
Johnson triggers a pass through the hands of Chapman. He might have had a layup if he was able to beat Ellis to the basket.
It's one of those you see in football. A receiver knows he's wide open. You take your eyes off. I think Tion knew he had maybe a dunk opportunity there. Maybe just lifted his eyes the last second. But again, having that size, Isaiah Johnson, to just be able to throw over the top of that pressure, it's a huge asset. Oh, what a move.
Shot by Smith, not good. Follow-up. Ellis has got 6 points early.
Yeah. Really a big part for them. He's gotten his 3rd basket of the day, really keeping Hopkins in this one right now.
Wally driving.
You know, and that's
what a foul on the drive. Excuse me.
Yeah, Hopkins needs a big guy just like that. Those guards are going to draw so much attention, even on a shot attempt. Even if they miss, your defense is looking at them. You're paying attention to that. And I'll tell you, if Julius Ellis can slide his way in like that, fight for offensive rebounds, he's going to get second chance points.
Ryan, that's 6 team fouls at Hopkins, which means for almost the last 12 minutes of the half, Totino-Grace is in the bonus.
Yeah, and if I'm the Eagles, I'm continuing to attack, exploit that.
Chapman for 3. That's his second made three-pointer, and the sophomore with 8 points.
Yeah, it's off to a great start here for the Eagles. Smooth.
15-11, Totino-Grace. More back for Smith. Hands it off now for Knudsen, who's into the game for Hopkins. Caden Knudsen, one of the lone seniors that's in their regular rotation. Moore shot up, not good. Rebound by Johnson.
Yeah, carried it.
Carried the ball.
Well, how nice of a luxury, though, to have a 6'7" guy like Isaiah Johnson. You can switch on those guards, and he can keep them in front of him. I think his height, his length, able to contest that jump shot to maybe alter that jumper.
Into the backcourt. I don't think we've seen the shot clock under 10 yet, have we, in a possession?
No. I told you it was nothing to worry about.
Having said that, it's at 10 right now. And we get a foul on the floor on Totino-Grace. This will be on Chapman. That's his second. It's the 3rd team foul so far on Totino.
Yeah, and that's a big problem with guarding both of these teams. They put so much pressure on you.
Ball up and in for Knudsen. It's a 2-pointer, first bench points of the night.
Yeah, and he's coming in. He's going to end up playing power forward center, replacing Ellis, but a little extra dimension. They're able to shoot from the 3-point line. Out of bounds play. Oh, just inside. Foot on the line. Only a 2-pointer there. I'll tell you, the more Hopkins can knock down the perimeter shots too, John, the more it's going to open up their driving lanes with those guards.
Caden Knutson just committed a foul, and what we talked about 1 minute ago has come true now for Totino-Grace. They're at the line for the bonus for the rest of the half.
Yeah, and if I'm the Eagles, I'm just continuing to attack, put them in pressure situations, because you're either going to get fouls or they're going to end up backing up, and you might get easier opportunities. So
Smith baseline drive. They're calling it pretty tight.
Yeah.
On the drive by Smith. Foul's going to be on Johnson.
Everyone's going to be sitting in foul trouble here soon.
And it's funny because I talked to Coach Carroll. I said, what do you expect tonight? He said, well, depends on how the game's officiated.
Very similar in that they have so many multiple guys that can just attack the basket that are going to draw fouls.
A little spin and a jump ball. You're getting a hand on the ball there. And on the alternate possession, it'll go over to Totino-Grace.
That was odd. I either thought that was going to be a foul or a travel, but a jump ball. Coach Novak
all right.
dumbfounded as well. That was an unusual call.
Well, tipped out of bounds off of Jacob Hudson, number 0.
Yeah, and if you're going to play Hopkins, I mean, you have to be in shape and you have to be aware at all times. They're going to pick you up full court and so quick, and trying to jump those passing lanes, you've got to take care of the basketball.
Watley draws the double team, able to get the ball to Johnson. He loses it on the floor, and we get another foul call.
I think they got Hudson reaching in on that one.
8th team foul now on Hopkins, and Johnson back to the line.
You know, and that's part of basketball too, is just adjusting to however the referees at each particular game are calling it. It's obviously being called really tight. And you'll get, the next game where it's not called that way and you can play a little bit differently, but you've got to understand, we're getting a call here on literally every 10 seconds. There's a whistle being blown.
Over the back that time is Dothan Jadabola, his first, and the 5th team foul now on Totino. Let's see how long we can go without a foul call. I looked at the clock. It was 10:21 at the last whistle. Drive, kick back out. Smith off on the wing. It's Caden Knutson back to Smith.
And you got to defend him up there. Yeah, he's so. Nice
adjustment, but didn't get near the basket on a shot. Johnson, pass ahead, turning, a lot of steps, nothing called. Loose ball, Watley with it, more steps, and finally traveling called. I thought it could have been called on Josiah Young, and it was finally called then on Chase Watley. Look at it again.
Yeah, good throw ahead there, and good hustle getting back that time too by Moore.
Shot up, not good. Rebound, and the ball stripped away, and a foul on Totino-Grace. It was stripped away from Caden Knutson.
I think they got Watley on that one. Now Totino will be in the bonus, or Hopkins will be in the bonus the last 9.5 minutes.
Substitution, Trey Moore, the 8th grade, the younger brother of Jaden Moore, into the lineup. Nearing the midway point of the first half, Totino-Grace went ahead 3-2. They led the rest of the way. Shot clock down to 3. They'll have to hurry. Shot from the baseline, not good, and rebounded by Johnson. Ahead to a Jadambola and gets fouled by Hudson.
Yeah, good defense that time by Totino, forcing the pass, not giving anything easy. And that's one thing the Eagles have really started doing here the last couple possessions. They get that rebound, and you're seeing immediately Isaiah Johnson throwing it ahead, guys leaking out, getting transition opportunities.
Well, how good is Johnson just on those outlet passes?
Yeah.
Quick flick ahead. And
well, he's got the height and the strength and the court awareness, too, to always be looking. I love when your bigger guys can dribble and handle and make decisions. It's so rare. And when he got one, especially as good as he is, it's a really huge asset for a team.
First point there for Jadambola. Semenko and Ellis back in for Hopkins.
Yeah, so far nothing's been easy for Hopkins, right? And they're so good. That's so hard to do. But Totino's defense has been really solid and just making Hopkins really have to work or make tough shots.
Back to a 5-point lead for Totino-Grace. Free ball from the corner, spins around, not good. Ellis gets his shot blocked by Johnson, and then out of bounds off Hopkins. Totino basketball.
Yeah, good drive, a good kick. They got a good look there.
Johnson, and bringing it up into the front court is Watley. On Semenko. Back out, three is good.
Dolphin, 6'6". He's so athletic and explosive, but really worked hard to become a better shooter and knocks it down.
Back at the other end, Jaden Moore's first points tonight.
And I like what he did. He attacked before that defense could get set up. There was no help in the picture there.
Turnover. Oh, Smith! What a move to the basket to score.
You can see he's smooth, quick and smooth.
Oh, at the other end, Smith comes back with a big defensive play. But they got called for the foul. I think he thought it was a pretty good defensive play.
Well, he made a good defensive play, but there was a foul before.
Yeah, you're right, though. Actually, the foul was on Ellis.
I'm going to say we hadn't had a foul call for about 45 seconds, so we were due.
It was a two-shot foul, so one more coming yet for Malachi Hill.
And you see the turnover, and now just watch this beautiful Euro step finishing over with the left hand. And combine quickness and skill. That's what it looks like.
Freshman guard 0 for 2 from the line on that trip. Jaden Moore the rebound. All the way up, not good. Johnson with it for Totino-Grace. He'll run on it again. Isaiah Johnson, tough shot, not good. And Jadambola short. Johnson rebounds, kicks it back out. Lob pass down to a Jadambola on the baseline, couldn't keep it in bounds.
Man, that pace was fast. But I can tell you though, I love right now Jaden Moore the last two times has attacked the basket before the Totino-Grace half-court defense could get set up. He's got, even though he missed that, he got a great look. But you can see how quick Totino responds.
Moore, and he gets his pass blocked. Semenko back out, and they'll reset on the wing with Moore again. Jaden Moore, deep three ball, short, and Jacob will let it roll out of bounds. Smith back in for Hopkins, replacing Tyson Moore. And a 7:25 to play in the half. Pull-up shot from 15, not good for Watley. Anthony Smith drives, finds the open man on the wing, and a three-pointer up and in. That's Trey Moore with the three.
Yeah, good-looking shot. He had his feet set up, squared up, locked and loaded, and a great pass. Anthony Smith not trying to force it, made the right play there.
Tough shot in transition at the other end, and not good for Malachi Hill, but we get a follow-up.
And that's
great pass.
Yeah, that play right there is Hopkins in a nutshell. So hard to keep in front of you one-on-one. Forces you to help and rotate. You find the open shooter, knock down.
Foul on Anthony Smith, his first. It's double bonus time as Vince Jacobs at the line gets his first point. Ellis out. And back in is Knutson.
And Jacobs come in giving him some good tough minutes, right? You've seen him boxing out and rebounding, and that time knocks 2 free throws down.
Blocking foul and free throws coming for Smith. That was a tough pass for Moore to.
That angle to go through that,
yes.
too, and he's shredded it through there, and a good finish. Way to attack again. Attack that basket. Look at this pass right through that.
Jacob contends it and picks up the foul.
You know, and a lot of times you'll see two guys that are really quick and explosive and have a lot of finesse to their game. They're not going to attack like that. Anthony Smith, not afraid of contact, goes right into it, almost searching for it, able to get that foul. Get a couple easy free throws.
He's kind of stretching himself out after that, taking a contact to the ground. This is just a second free throw attempt for Hopkins. Totino-Grace has had 13 so far. Second one short.
I don't wonder if when he fell there, you could tell he was a little short with his legs on both of them.
Shot and bowl the rebound. Watley to the front court. Jacob gets double teamed in the corner, in some trouble, and swatted out of bounds by Semenko.
Yeah, you can see Jacob knew it immediately. You never want to pick your dribble up in the corner like that. There's just no outlet to go to.
Watley, Johnson, and back into Watley's hand. 10 on the shot clock. Watley to the basket in traffic and able to score it.
Yeah, and he pays so much attention to Isaiah Johnson, trying to not let him get the ball in the middle. Watley sees it and shows that he's very capable, too, of getting to the basket.
Anthony Smith to the basket. Oh, he just hits the ground hard again, now holding his arm again, and down to the ground goes Watley.
You hold your breath, don't you, whenever the guys are up in the air like that and they can't use their arms, and then you worry about landing and breaking an arm or a wrist. Thankfully, it looks like everyone's going to be okay. But again, there's so much pressure at the basket, drawing another foul.
Miles on him, Jadambola, his second. Missed again on the free throw.
Yeah, and all three have been short.
Substitutions on both sides here. One more free throw coming. Gets that one.
Yep. You can tell, too, we've got his legs. You see the bend in his legs, able to knock it down.
8 points for Anthony Smith. His team trails by 4, 25-21. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Tion Chapman has had a good first half. Corner three ball spins out for Jadambola. Rebound for Hopkins. Trey Moore into the front court. Anthony Smith. Now it's Jaden Moore. Skip pass. Smith open in the corner and buries a three.
Great pass. Driving to your right. One hand skip across the court, just knowing, playing with each other, knowing where each other is going to be.
Extra pass into the lane, and we get a foul on the shot attempt by Jalen Hines.
That looked like some good quick hands there. Yeah, there's a nice open look, too. A rare open look for Anthony Smith, and he knocks it down. That's what getting to the free throw line can do, too, sometimes, John. You see that ball go in, gets your rhythm, especially as a shooter. Jalen Hines, only a 9th grader.
Hopkins foul on Knutson is his second. Freshman gets his first point. Second one also good. So Totino-Grace taking advantage of their free throw opportunities tonight, and they continue to lead. Here's Smith working on Chapman. Kicks off the pass, and a three ball buried from the wing by Davey Hart. His first basket tonight.
Yeah, and he scored 14 in that game against Orono, so very capable shooter. And I thought Anthony Smith that time gave up a good shot for a great shot. Last second, finding his teammate.
We are tied at 27. Chapman trying to unbreak the tie. Three ball all the way around the rim. Not good. Johnson tip. Not good. Gets it back. Follow up around. That won't go. Scramble on the floor. Out of bounds off Hopkins.
Got that three-pointer and the follow-up. About as close as you can get to not going down the hatch there, rolling around. I think Totino enjoying the rebounding, the size right now, and a lot of it's coming from Isaiah Johnson controlling the glass down low.
Johnson into Watley. Lost his dribble, but kept it in bounds. Skip
nice
pass. Chapman's open in the corner. Can't get it going. Jaden Moore rebounds ahead to Smith, up and in. What a pass by Jaden Moore, and Smith with the finish. Hopkins with its first lead since 2-0.
Both teams, they take a miss and they turn it into a make on the other way so quickly.
And Royals students back into the game now. Johnson to Watley trying to step through. He traveled.
Hopkins doing a better job of help without fouling that time. Look at this look. Jaden Moore gets it, sees Anthony Smith up ahead. Tough finish.
It's been an entertaining first 14 minutes of our season, right?
I'm fatigued just watching this pace. I can't imagine playing in it.
Blocking foul here on John Bola. That's going to be his third.
Yep. Heads up play by Jaden Moore, just using his speed, putting that pressure on.
Jaden Moore will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight. So 1-1, they are in the double bonus the rest of the way from here. Yep. John Bola out. Johnson had a brief rest back in for Totino.
About a 10-second rest.
Right.
He's played the entire game. And not a typical big guy, right? He's handling the ball against pressure. He's guarding their guard. So Johnson doing it all as a big guy.
Jaden Moore makes it look easy in the two free throws. And the biggest lead of the night for Hopkins. Backcourt pressure on the double team. Able to get the pass to Chapman, then to Johnson, back to Chapman, and across the half-court line. Watley working on Trey Moore.
Yeah, and this is where I'd like to see Isaiah Johnson with that size advantage, getting the ball down low. He's got Jacob Hudson guard. There you go. And I don't know if anyone can guard him down there.
Short on the shot. Follow-up try, not good. Another tip won't go. Rebounded by Knutson for Hopkins. Ahead it goes. And Smith unable to finish this time. Johnson got back there, perhaps to affect that shot.
Yeah,
Watley.
late contest definitely changed and altered that shot.
Chapman, tough right-handed runner, won't go. Smith with it. Looked ahead. Now he'll slow it down into the front court. Takes the return pass from Trey Moore. Spin move, Smith, 16-footer, rolls out. Johnson rebounds. Ahead to Chapman. Chapman to the basket. And Johnson trying to foul up. He goes down hard. Missed the shot, and Johnson is hurt. Back ahead the other way. Trey Moore for two.
Just intense, isn't it? Up and down.
Hopkins on a run here, up 6. Johnson gets fouled. They Applying the pressure on him out near half court.
And I'll tell you, John, Hopkins made this run the last couple minutes without falling, right? And that's kind of what stopped the rhythm of this game and affected Hopkins. There was another region foul, but a nice job. Almost a finish. Good look at the finish there. Again, he got right up, so obviously okay. And again, Hopkins taking that and turning it into 2 points as fast as any team around. Great pace to this game. And here you asked how the shot clock was going to affect this game.
Not at all.
I tried to tell you.
First one up and in. So the free throw ends the scoring run for Hopkins. They put up 10 in a row and after a 3-point game. 2:20 to go. And 2 minutes to play. Pressure on the wing, and now handed off to Smith. On the pass from Hudson. Smith contested three, short tipped by Johnson. Totino can't control it. Open look for Knutson, short on the three, rebounded by Johnson. Back he comes for Totino, shovels the pass off. Back to Johnson, easy lay-in for two.
Good patience there and a good cut too by Johnson. If I'm Totino, I get Johnson in the middle of that court and try to feed him there. I just don't think there's anyone with the size and strength to guard him down there.
33-31.
Nice little response here by the Eagles here.
Yep. Jaden Moore, 1:10 to go. Back out it comes to Moore. Not good. Rebounded by Watley.
Oh, nice throw ahead.
Pass ahead to the baseline. And the travel, Malachi Hill couldn't get his feet set and traveled.
Yeah, it was the right play, a great throw ahead. And he had the right play with the shot fake, but sometimes you get that foot shuffle. Oh. Would have tied up the game here, just under a minute left.
Vince Jacob back in for Totino-Grace along with Josiah Young.
I feel like I might have to have Gatorade at halftime, John.
You should. I'll keep hydrated.
Just impressive, both teams, just the speed.
Trey Moore looked at the basket and then hands it back off to Jaden Moore. Jaden Moore driving. Knutson arcing three, not good, and rebounded by Watley.
Even though they missed that, I mean, that's a right play. A great pass by Jaden Moore. Nice.
Johnson steps through and lays in two.
He's got that big strength, that athleticism, but you can see the footwork. You see the finesse there, avoiding picking up an offensive ball, just kind of sidesteps, able to finish with the nice touch. Yeah, and those are the kind of fouls that Coach Carroll's going to talk to him about. We don't need to be fouling 90 feet away from the basket there.
Well, it's on Hill, his second. The second one is good. Hopkins by a point.
Yeah, now they can hold here for the last shot. Oh, nice pass.
Great pass, down low. Jacob short on the shot. Well defended by Trey Moore. Got his arms up, and Jacob couldn't connect. Smith, tough shot over Watley. Not good. Underneath, and basket. That try won't go. Knutson with it. Back out to Smith right before the buzzer. And that is the end of the first half. Wow. A lot of points put up on the board. Hopkins, after trailing for much of the half, rallies in the last few minutes. And they go up by a point here, 34-33. A frenetic pace in the first 18 minutes of play tonight here at Hopkins High School. A good basketball so far, and a great one between two of the best teams in the state. Totino-Grace, two-time defending state champion in 3A, and Hopkins always one of the best programs in Class 4A. Ryan Iverson is on the court side now, and he's standing by with Grace head coach Nick Carroll.
Coach, first game of the year, what'd you think there in the first half?
Yeah, I think you're just getting some of the jitters out. I think the kids are playing really hard. It's clear that both teams are still kind of figuring out how to get in shape, playing at that pace. But I thought both teams played really well. I thought both teams were throwing punches. Kids seem loose. You know, you got guys who are knocking down shots that are new faces in rotations, and that's fun. So this is a fun half of basketball. I think it's what we expected.
Offensively, anything you want to see, particularly in the second half?
Just get the ball inside. Like, Isaiah's got a ton of advantages. Dalton's got advantages. We got to try to pound the ball inside. The pace that they're pushing on defense is, I think he's got to sped up a little bit. If we can slow down and just get the ball touched the paint, I think we'll be in decent shape.
Last thing, what do you tell you guys to adjust to the refs, right? I mean, the fouls that are being called?
Yeah, and I think the game's honestly being officiated well. I think both teams are going fairly deep into their bench. Obviously, we want to be a little bit less handsy, but this probably is going to be a game that's going to be in double bonus both halves, just with how aggressive both teams are like driving the ball.
Awesome. Good luck in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, John.
(34-33), Hopkins leading Totino-Grace at halftime. More boys basketball coming up from Hopkins High School after this. Hopkins 34, Totino-Grace 33. High school boys basketball, our season opener on CCX. John Jacobson and Ryan Iverson back at the Royals Activity Center. An action-packed first half of play, Ryan.
It was. The pace was really, really fast and fun. A lot of up and down, and we've seen the stars come to play tonight too. Isaiah Johnson, big first half. Anthony Smith missed some shots, but then got going there towards the end of the half. And I thought Hopkins did a great job of hanging around, overcoming those early fouls, and then ended up with the lead here going into halftime. So really fun back and forth game.
Let's look at highlights from that first half of play here. Ryan talked about the pace and shooting the ball well early, especially for Totino-Grace. The three-pointer from Chapman. He had 2 3-pointers in the first half, and Anthony Smith has been outstanding, both with scoring and being able to distribute the ball as well. Isaiah Johnson's been
and that's the spot I think
stop.
They need to find him all the time in the second half. Here's a nice move. All that attention, that allowed Julius Ellis, who had 6 points in that first half. I thought he had a big first half. Yeah, Chapman with his second 3 of the game.
HC with 3 3-pointers in the first half. That one going behind Johnson on the pass. And Smith smooth to the basket. Lays in 2 more of his 14 points in the first half. And then nice tough basket play. That is tough work for Chase Watley to get to the hoop on that one. Great throw ahead here from Moore to Smith for 2 more.
Nice look again back in the middle of that defense.
Johnson.
Yeah. When he can get into the middle of that defense, I think they have not had an answer for it.
Our key players each with 14 points in the first half. Johnson with 14, Smith with 14 for Hopkins. Again, Chapman with 8. Gothan and Jadabola with 5 for Totino-Grace. And on the Hopkins side, I mentioned Smith with 14, then Ellis with 6, Trey Moore with 5, Jaden Moore, who's the second leading scorer, with 4 points only in the first half. It's been a good first half. Totino-Grace leading much of the way, but Hopkins rallying late to go back in front.
1-point game. We'll throw it back to break. Ryan will talk with Ken Novak when we come back for high school basketball from Hopkins after this.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
1 point late for Hopkins at halftime. Back we go to Ryan with Ken Novak.
Hey, Coach, what did you think of the first half there?
You know, I thought we played very poorly. I thought we're supposed to be pushing up, and we're just kind of walking it up. We're not playing the offense out of the break, and we have to do that. Defensively, I thought we were tentative. We've got to go after them, and we got to run them down. We don't have their size and strength, so we have to be more aggressive.
Well, it's a fun game to watch. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
No, I'm too late to go.
All right, back to you, JJ.
Thanks very much, Ryan. Thanks for both coaches for taking some time here at halftime to speak with us. 1 point game, leading scores. You saw Smith with 14 for Hopkins and 14 for Isaiah Johnson for Totino-Grace. First half, Ryan, Totino-Grace getting to the free throw line a lot, 18 times in all, 12 of 18. Hopkins 5 of 9 from the line, each team with 3 3-pointers.
Yeah, and I think that's really when Totino started to build that lead. They were able to get fouls over and over. What you got to worry about now in second half is those guys with 2 and 3 fouls, you got to worry about fouling out of the game, right? So I think both teams got to play aggressive defensively, but they got to do it without their hands. No dumb fouls, right? And again, both teams, as Coach Carroll said at halftime, both of these teams put so much pressure on you. It's hard to not foul.
One thing we haven't mentioned for Totino-Grace, they're without 2 guys that would be in their regular rotation. Tyler Wagner out with a hip injury, and Will Brands in concussion protocol. Both of those suffered during football season. They expect them back by this weekend, and but certainly might play a role in tonight if they had been able to play. And Totino-Grace gets a turnover, quick run out, and Josiah Young puts Totino-Grace back in front. That's his first basket tonight.
Yeah, he's been quiet tonight. He's a very capable player and scorer, too.
Semenko loses it on the floor. Another turnover, another run out. Chapman ahead this time.
2 quick buckets in transition for Totino. Exactly how you want to come out of the gate here on the road. And kind of quieted the crowd, too. Got a little bit of that momentum back.
Yeah. Semenko had hand held by Johnson on the way. Foul on Johnson. It's just his second. John Mbola, the only player to pick up 3 fouls in the first half. There are several guys with 2 on both sides.
And you heard Coach Novak, too, telling me there, we got to be more aggressive. They're bigger, maybe more athletic, but we got to be more aggressive. And I think that's going to start with, you know, the 2 guards, obviously, Jaden Moore and Anthony Smith, just continuing to use their quickness, trying to get to the basket.
First minute of play here in the second half. Semenko cut off, back out to Anthony Smith, and now to Jaden Moore. Moore slicing to the basket,
move.
couldn't get the shot to go, and Mbola able to rebound.
Yeah, it's tough when you're going left that quick like that to shoot it with your right hand.
Good steal in the backcourt for Davey Hart. And another foul on Totino-Grace. Chapman's like, I can't believe you're going to call me on that. And yet they did.
He might be the only guy in the building that can't believe it. I think everyone's used to these whistles blowing, but good hustle right there by Davey Hart stealing that. Yeah, definitely some contact there.
That's the 3rd now on Chapman.
Well, and that's what I mean. You're going to get guys now with 3 and 4 with quite a bit of time to play, and that's always tough for coaches. Ooh, nice move. Wow.
Moore, smooth moving, silky smooth
Call
shot.
that a hands up, John. If they make it look like you're going to shoot, defender goes for it. Beautiful move. And I think that's one of the things. They need Jaden Moore to be more aggressive. They need him scoring. Didn't have a huge first half as far as points. And he's a very good scorer. They need that 1-2 combo of him and Anthony Smith scoring together. I like this.
Johnson to Chapman, and he'll hand it off to Watley. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Chapman shot up and in.
Yeah, played with a great pace. Nice shot fake, knowing that shot clock was getting down, didn't rush it. He's got that good length, too, able to get to about 6 to 8 feet and finish over the top.
Officials timeout. They thought it was a sticky spot or a wet spot or something there on the floor, but now we're going to be ready to go. Look at that basket again. Shot clock running down.
Yeah,
No, that's the player fell.
See, that's what Jaden Moore was talking to him about. There's a wet spot there.
Moore, what a finish. What a basket there by Moore. We've seen some unbelievably athletic plays here in this game.
On the speed. I mean, he got down the court in about 2 seconds, finished over the top. Nice pass.
Ahead for the lay-in for two. A terrific pass ahead. And basket up and in for Young.
And it's good for them to get him a couple of quick buckets here early in the second half.
There's Smith off to Semenko. Got an open shot, and he'll go to the line for two.
Yeah, that's going to be 4 on Dothan.
So Dothan and Jarambola picks up his 4th foul on that. J.J. Semenko will get a chance to score his first point of the night.
Yeah, and he was that 3rd big scorer last year. And he had 14 in the first game against Orono. So for him not being on the board, they're going to need him. And he's a very capable, he's a good shooter. He's got a quick first step, too.
Yeah, he
scored in a variety of ways.
Scored 11 points a game last year. First point tonight. Hopkins down by 2 after leading by 1 at halftime.
Nice pass.
Johnson with the flush. A terrific pass from Watley.
Great pass. He drew 2 defenders. Nice slip, too, by Johnson.
Jaden Moore's shot not good. Trying to foul it up, and it's off him out of bounds.
Yeah, watch this slip. And that's where you got to have a little bit of rotation coming from the weak side. You see the finish, the athletic finish, almost like he's on a pogo stick.
Johnson into the front court comes Jacob with the ball. Chapman back to Jacob. Jacob hands off. Watley baseline, draws a double team, back off. Jacob, swing it down low, and
nice
find the
pass,
opening. Jacob, a great extra pass there by Chapman, and he gets his teammate an easy 2.
And I'll tell you, Jacob, instead of staying at the 3-point line, not moving, cut, became an easy outlet, got an easy basket.
Manko missed on a 3, and then Johnson has it stripped away by Hart at midcourt. Not good, and Hart fouling up is fouled by Johnson after Moore missed the initial shot. Isaiah Johnson, that'll be his 3rd.
Great motor there, Davey Hart. Got the steal, made the pass. Great follow-up, getting that offensive rebound, just battling. Quick hands.
Hart with a 3-pointer in the first half. It's his 4th point tonight. Malachi Hill back in for Totino-Grace, replacing Josiah Young. Four-point Totino-Grace lead. Isaiah
Nice
Johnson,
pass.
great bounce pass. Jacob gets fouled. Both Semenko in heart, are you kidding me?
They're telling me, like, I didn't touch him. Did you touch him? Who touched him? Oh, great pass by Isaiah Johnson. That's one thing, I mean, both teams, I thought, with as much individual talent as is on the floor right now, John, like, no one's forcing stuff.
Unselfish.
I feel like they're if there's a teammate open, they're getting them the ball. They're making the right play, too. I love that. I love that basketball.
1 out of 2 for Jacob. 5-point lead again for the Eagles. And a foul on the wing whistled here against Hill. That's his third.
Kind of the roles reversed as they were in the first half. That's 5 early fouls here on Totino-Grace. 2 more, and Hopkins will be in the bonus for the majority of the second half.
Under 14 minutes to play in the second half. We're going to have a game in the 80s, it looks like, Ryan, perhaps, potentially, for scoring tonight. Ball's tipped up in the air, and then a steal by Chapman. To the basket, and he lays it in.
Great hands, anticipation, and then the finish, too.
Semenko up and in, and he's fouled.
Great response.
And that'll be 4 on Chapman.
And we didn't see Semenko at all in the first half doing that. Being a little bit more aggressive here. A great response. Dion playing those passes. He's got those long arms. Look at him finish. And that's the thing in this game. There's no break. Coming right back the other way. Nice move. Tough finish.
Semenko able to finish. A 4-point game, but now Chapman and Jadambola with 4 fouls each for Totino-Grace. And both guys on the bench. And we have 13 minutes to play, Ryan. Watley in some trouble. And it's stolen away. Semenko ahead. Jaden Moore to the basket for 2.
Yeah, good throw, had good finish. And Isaiah Johnson smartly not even contesting that, not wanting to pick up another foul.
That would have been 4 on him. Yeah. Johnson halfway up with the shot, goes to the corner. Jacob with a 3. A timeout for Totino-Grace.
I'm telling you, every time that ball goes to the middle to Johnson, good things have happened for Totino-Grace. He's not selfish enough. He's not going to force it. He'll make the play there. Looked like he was going to take a tough fadeaway at the last second. Found Jacob, who gets a nice friendly roll here on the road.
50-46. Totino-Grace.
Well, I think that's big too. If he doesn't make that, Totino's up 7 going the other way with the ball. So getting that 3, that's a big play. Look at the last second. Draws so much attention. You see 5 black jerseys in the lane surrounding Isaiah Johnson.
I said 3 ball. We could see the official was actually at 2. He had 1 foot barely on the line. Look at the rankings in Class 3A. Totino-Grace at the top. You usually get the benefit of the doubt if you're the defending state champion. Not that they're not that good. They are. But they'll say Margaret's, Alexandria. Max Iverson's Delano Tigers at number 5 in 3A.
Yeah, we get
and they play Stewartville this weekend,
Stewartville
right?
this Saturday. And then we play Alexandria and Orono, too, coming up in the next few weeks. So a lot of talent. This 3A class, you got Totino. The Nild is really deep. Alexandria has a couple of monsters on their team, including Grayson Groves going to the Gophers next year. They have a couple other kids that are really talented. So the talent level in Minnesota, not just limited to 4A, it's all across the board throughout the state, too. Really good time to be a fan of Minnesota high school basketball.
17 points for Totino-Grace on the board here in the second half, Ryan, in 5+ minutes after 33 in the first half. So, and not doing it with the 3 ball, they're getting to the basket.
And a lot of them have been in transition off of steals and turnovers and missed shots. So Totino really done a nice job of running here and getting some easy baskets. I think both teams are so solid in the half court defensively.
Semenko has his ball stripped away. Nice defense there by Josiah Young. And some trouble as Johnson, loose ball, gets it back. And a timeout by Nick Carroll. Ken Novak saying that he didn't really have possession of the ball there, which I
tend to agree on that.
You're right.
One, yeah.
I think that ball was still being contested for.
Yeah.
But their timeout granted, and another timeout for the Eagles. And now the Rankington Class 4A, Park Center, last year's state runner-up at number 1. They are really good. Wayzata's number 2. Lost a lot, but has Jackson McAndrew and some other pieces back and some other really good players. The Lakevilles, 3 and 4. Shakopee, Minnetonka, Eastridge. Hopkins at number 8, and then Buffalo and Eastview at number 10.
Yeah, Park Center looks really, really solid again. Wayzata is going to be really, really solid again.
Totino-Grace plays Wayzata here at the Tip-Off Classic at Hopkins this Saturday night at 7. Hopkins will play Eastridge in that one-day event.
Yeah, and I just love that. These top teams are not afraid to play each other early in the year. And I'll tell you what, even if you lose, so what? You know, it gives you a chance to kind of measure where you're at early in the year, and gives you, you know, your team is going to be confident when you get to the state tournament. So I love that these top teams not afraid to schedule each other early on. Yeah, I love
Jacob
this.
Entry pass to Johnson. That's a good look. Good possession. They just couldn't get the finish.
I know he missed that, but that's a great call right there. Get him down low on the block. I don't think there's anyone that can guard him down there.
Runner up and in. That's Jaden Moore. He's got 8 points here in the second half.
Yeah, and you can see his mindset is I'm getting to the basket, I'm scoring. He's such a good playmaker too, but he's also a very good scorer. And I think they're best when he's attacking like that.
Johnson to Jacob, knocked away from him, and then a foul's going to be whistled on Jacob after possession had been taken by Caden Knutson.
Oh, that's...
And Vince Jacob just his second. That's the 16th foul, and so Hopkins the rest of the way, as you can see on our screen, will be in the bonus.
That's a 7th one.
Well, that is 7, you're right. So it'll be Knutson, the senior, going to the line for a 1-and-1.
And remember the first half, Totino kind of built their lead by getting to the foul line so often. See if Hopkins can continue to be aggressive and put pressure on, maybe get to the free throw line a lot here early in the second half.
Said the miss, the foul, Johnson slams it down on the assist from Josiah Young. Smith trying to answer on a 3, not good, not out of bounds.
That was impressive. There's got to be a trampoline out there, John. Look at the spring in that guy. Love it. Look at him throw it ahead, head up, right back to him, and he just gets there, and there's nothing anybody, I think, in the state of Minnesota can do to stop that finish. Exactly how you want your guys attacking the rim.
Johnson now with 18 points. Leads all players in scoring. It's a 4-point Eagles lead. Watley comes back out to Johnson. There's one foul on Hopkins in the second half. Shot clock down to 10. Jacob. Shot up and in for Hill.
I'll tell you what, Hill did a great job of flashing from the weak side. Nice finish, too. Again, quick. Hopkins having really good success. If they can get out in transition, get a basket before that defense can get set up. But they were fronting and helping. Nice. Yeah,
Jacob up and in.
Yeah, great passing.
Here's Moore. To the corner. Davey Hart for 3, not good. Rebound and get a backcourt foul on Knutson.
Oh, actually, they got it on Hart.
Oh, you're right, yeah. And so that is his 4th.
finding that wet spot again on the court.
(56-50). Totino-Grace 6-point lead and the basketball. 10 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the second half. An entertaining opener for us on CCX. Pass tipped out of bounds off Hopkins.
Yeah, both of these teams, if when they can get up and run and get that penetration, that kick out or that extra pass before the half-court defense sets up, they've both been really, really good in doing that, and they're both so good defensively in the half court.
Hill. Baseline drive, great pass. Another good pass to the corner, not good. Hill, and he gets fouled by Moore. This will be Tyson Moore on the foul.
How about Hill getting up there, battling with the big guys, grabbing that rebound? It's one of those games, John, where I think if there's contact at all with hands, it's going to get called, whether it's a foul or not, so you almost just can't even do it.
Yeah, if Malachi Hill needed a reminder, the Hopkins fans are telling him that he's 0 for 3 from the line. Makes that one, though. 3 points for the freshman here in the second half. Now a 7-point Grace lead. It's their biggest tonight. No points in the second half, Ryan, for Anthony Smith. Semenko. Little spin move. From the free throw line up and in.
Tough bucket.
Got 8 points all here in the second half for the junior.
Yeah, great spin. You forget he's 6'5". He doesn't look as tall out there, but he's 6'5". They force a turnover. He got to that spot, able to just elevate and shoot over the top. I really think he's going to be key this year, John, to how good they are. You pretty much know what you're going to get from Moore and Smith. If he can be that third option and be really good.
Jaden Moore can't finish here. Johnson rebounds. The run out ahead. Watley to the basket. Around, not good. Rebound by Semenko. He'll throw it ahead. Jaden Moore's wide open.
Nice job by Semenko securing that rebound. Not only that, but getting his head up.
Whistle, ball out of bounds. We'll take a look at it again.
Yeah, good throw ahead there.
Jaden Moore out, Jaden Hudson in. And now both Nchadabola and Tion Chapman back in for Totino-Grace. Each Ryan playing with 4 fouls with 9 minutes to go. Turnover by Totino-Grace.
Yeah, Hopkins right now with either of their starting backcourt, Jaden Moore or Anthony Smith, neither of them in the game. This is where they need Semenko right here to really come up big.
And he gets fouled.
Smart play.
I'm going to call it on Hill. And that's his fourth. And he comes out. And Jalen Hines back into the lineup for Totino. Semenko hits in the front end of the 1-and-1. Six in a row here for Hopkins. They're within 1.
Yeah, and 10 in the second half, too, for Semenko. Anthony Smith not scoring here in the second half. Semenko really picked up that.
Again, pressure in the backcourt. Totino's going to have to hurry, and they do get it to the front court in time. And then a foul whistled on Hopkins. Moore and, well, both Moores, Trey and Jaden both there. They whistle it on Jaden. That's his second. 8.5 minutes to go. Totino-Grace, #1 team in 3A, nursing a 1-point lead. Three-pointer up and in for Isaiah Johnson. It's his first three tonight. He's got 21 points.
Yeah, he's really expanded that. You see he's got great shot form.
Johnson gets the
nice
steal,
play.
stays in bounds, ahead to a John Ball for the dunk. What a play.
What a play. What hustle by Isaiah Johnson. Hits the big three, gets the steal. Great hustle, prevents him from not only going out of bounds, but has the wherewithal to throw it ahead. And Dothan slams it down for two.
That was right in front of us. I thought there was no way he's going to be able to keep his balance and stay in bounds there. Semenko is fouled and they'll go to the line.
That's going to be the fifth on Dothan.
And it is the fifth on Dothan. Jadabola fouls out here with 7 points.
Yeah,
look at that.
Here's the three. Watch that. Good patience. You see the great form. He's capable of knocking those down. And that next play, not only he follows that up with great hustle, throws it ahead for the jam going the other way.
Semenko answers with 2 more free throws. His offense helping Hopkins stay close here,
yeah.
Brian, in the second half. Down 4. Led by 1 at halftime, but Totino's definitely had the edge here in the second half.
And if I'm Hopkins, I continue to drive, and maybe Totino-Grace won't be as aggressive defensively, not wanting to pick up fouls, or they're going to get into even more foul trouble. There's a nice bucket. Again, he gets to that 8 feet. He could just rise up and elevate and shoot over the top. Pretty unguardable when he gets to that spot.
Free ball, not good. Rebounded, though, by Hopkins. Pulled down by Knutson. Drive by Moore. Jaden Moore couldn't finish. Here's Isaiah Johnson, always looking up court.
Oh.
And tried to slip the pass through and couldn't get there to Young. And traveling whistle. As Semenko's whistled for the travel. Johnson got back in there and helped cause that turnover.
Yeah,
that play we talked about a couple minutes ago.
Instead of just throwing it in, trying to save it, he kind of hangs for just a second, sees Dothan streaking down the court. That was just a great play. And Johnson really causing that turnover as well.
All the Johnson turnaround from 15 short. Good rebound to the corner, good extra dribble, but missing on the 3 was Chapman. Run out here for Hopkins after they get the rebound. Skip pass across to Knutson. Semenko trying to get the 3-point play, couldn't, but he'll go to the line and shoot 2 more.
They called it on Jacob. I'll tell you, Semenko doing a great job of just getting to that lane and drawing contact. And getting to the free throw line. What is this, his 7th and 8th of the second half here, shooting free throws?
Yes.
Yep.
And he is 7 for 7.
Yeah, he's really single-handedly keeping Hopkins close here.
Shot him bowling now, just has to cheer from the sideline. Semenko, 14 second half points.
Yeah, we haven't seen Anthony Smith here for the last 5 or 6 minutes. Oh, good hustle. Great hustle that time by Caden Knutson, John, and I saw my life flash before my eyes there coming right at us.
And as you say that, there's Anthony Smith back in. Well, he went down a couple of times hard in the first half, and I don't know if he just wasn't quite right physically, but hasn't played as many minutes here in the second half.
Well,
hasn't scored.
He took a really quick, long three-pointer, too, and I don't wonder if that wasn't part of it, but you see him kind of, looks like he's stretching his back a little bit. Remember, to your point, landed hard on his back there in the first half. I saw you coming over to protect me.
I was,
you were
absolutely
trying to get in the way there.
I was
saw
actually
it.
trying to protect the monitor.
Oh, it was the monitor.
Timeout taken by Hopkins here. So what's the message for each of these teams now as we get in the last 8 minutes of the game?
Yeah, if I'm Coach Carroll, I'm telling my guys, listen, on defense, let's contest everything. Let's not be aggressive, or let's stay aggressive but not foul. We can't try to block everything. We can't try to get our hands and steal. They got to avoid putting Hopkins on the foul line. If they can do that, their defense has been pretty solid in the half court. And offensively, I'm telling, let's get the ball to Isaiah Johnson in that high post, that free throw area. He's shown he's unstoppable there, and he's not afraid to make the correct pass either. If I'm Hopkins, Anthony Smith back in the game, we got to try to get him going. See if we can get him an open look, because not only does he score, but the crowd gets into it, the flair of it, their whole team kind of rallies around that. So I'm looking to see if they can get him going a little bit. And if not, I think you got to just continue J.J. Semenko with the big second half here, keeping him in the game.
So Ken Novak and his friend, assistant Phil Ward, back on the bench with him this year. Former Wayzata head coach. Lob pass across. Tion Chapman gets himself open. Not good on the shot. And rebounded by Anthony Smith. Let's see if Smith can go the rest of the way here. 6+ minutes of trying to get on the scoreboard in the second half. He'll drive it here. Puts a shot up and in. There we go.
I love it. He didn't settle for a three or a fadeaway. Got to about 5 feet, just rose up. Great elevation, nice touch, big bucket. We got a 2-point game, JJ.
Johnson gets himself open. Tough shot. Oh. Good follow-up is up and in.
He followed his own shot.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he took a shot from the free throw line and before beats everybody at the rim and just able to elevate and finish. Man, he's an athlete. Oh.
Rising up for the shot, Semenko, not good. And the defensive rebound there for Jalen Hines. Watley front court. 4-point Totino-Grace lead as we wind down toward 5 minutes to play in the second half. Pass across, almost a steal for Hart. Able to keep control was Hines. Johnson, open three look, not good. Rebound by Semenko. Jaden Moore. Anthony Smith for three, short here.
Yeah, his misses tonight have all been short. Just got to get a little bit more bend in those legs. Those are shots he normally knocks down.
Watley right ring. Picks up the dribble, looking in, bounces it into Johnson. Moves in from the block and scores.
He's just got such a size advantage down there, and he's patient enough to not settle.
Moore at the other end finishes. Jaden Moore with a dozen second half points, 16 in the game.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if he can go north and south like that, getting downhill, he's just so fast.
Backcourt foul here on Smith. And a break there, I think, for Jalen Hines as he was in some trouble in the backcourt.
Yeah, there's that little pull-up. Watch, he misses it, but look at him attack the follow-up. It just beats everyone to the rim, able to finish his own missed jump shot.
Get a timeout here with 4:06 to play. Upcoming on CCX, you can see number one in 4A, Park Center at home, 6 p.m. on Thursday. They'll take on Champlin Park. Cooper at home on Friday night. And then next week, Northwest Suburban Conference Girls Hockey, Osseo Park Center, traveling to the Champlin Ice Forum, take on Champlin Park, Coon Rapids, and our first gymnastics coverage of the season, Hopkins against Wayzata. All coming up in the next week.
Do you need me for color commentary for the gymnastics? I do have an old singlet I could throw on back, from experience back in the day.
We'll wait till wrestling season for that, right?
Oh yeah, America does not want to see that.
We had a good season of football. Looking forward to a great season of basketball here on CCX.
Yeah, we always say this, but it just seems like yesterday we did Maple Grove Osseo opening football game of the year. And here we got all the way through football, and we're into winter and basketball and the holidays. Just a fun time.
That last time out taken by Totino-Grace, they have 2 left. Hopkins still with 3 timeouts. Totino-Grace just not in the bonus yet, and Hopkins is in the double bonus.
You know, on both teams, I think, you remember Totino had that run in the first half where they had control of the game. Hopkins really fought and pushed and clawed back. And then here it looked like Hopkins might pull away a little bit, and then Totino-Grace has fought back and got the lead, and now Hopkins back. So just some great back and forth by both of these teams. No quit in either of them.
Ball trying to get it back to Johnson from Chapman in some traffic, but Totino somehow able to keep possession here. Comes to Watley. Watley step in move and gets fouled. Fouls on Jaden Moore, that's his 3rd, 6th team foul on Hopkins. Chapman inbounding a little too high that time for Johnson. Semenko the other way, out to the wing, and
that's a smart play by a freshman too.
Great play by Hines. Held his position and draws the charge.
That was Hill, I think,
from
wasn't
Semenko.
it? I think it was Malachi Hill that stepped
it was
in there.
Hill, yes.
And that's, again, it comes down to the basics. Semenko just come to a jump stop. He made the right pass, the right play. His momentum carried in, and I'm pretty sure that was the freshman, Malachi Hill, who stood in there and took that charge. That's a big-time play.
And he keeps the lead at 4 points. It looks like Hopkins might get 2. Watley shot not good. Rebound up and in.
They got the miss, and then it was like all black jerseys kind of exited the lane and cleared the lane, and it allowed Josiah Young to just kind of fill in there. Watch the shot go up. You see Hopkins in a great position. I think they all assumed that someone else was going to grab it, and they all kind of stepped away. And Josiah Young steps right in, and chance here for a 3-point play.
Not good on the free throw. Here's Jaden Moore all the way, and he gets fouled.
Smart play. I mean, you just see the speed, again, off the missed free throw. Just beats the half-court defense before they can get set up, putting that pressure, attacking the rim like that.
They'll make Jaden Moore earn it from the free throw line, and for Young, no problem for him. His team's already in the double bonus, or rather Hopkins is, and just his first foul, and you prevent the sure layup.
Yeah.
Moore to the line twice tonight in the first half and made them both. There you go. That jinxed him.
Always. Broadcasters, anytime.
Right.
I swear every time a kicker is about to kick something, they're like, oh, he's made 18 in a row, and next one he misses. He's really improved his shooting as well over the years, and his free throw shooting, and of course I jinxed that one too, but his shot really, really improved. And he needs to. He's such a good, attacker of the basketball that he's going to get to the free throw line many times a game. So being able to take advantage of that and knock those down.
And now gets the steal all the way in there. Able to make up for that, the missed free throws with the steal and 2.
You just can't relax either of these teams, but especially against the Hopkins. They're trying to overplay those passing lanes. That bad pass leads to 2.
Extra pass to the corner. Now baseline shot gets blocked by Semenko. Spin move to the basket,
nice
up
play.
and in for 2 for Tion Chapman.
Only a sophomore too. Smooth. Grab that tip. Spin.
Hardly played at all last year. He's got 16 points here tonight into the starting role. Semenko's shot missed. Johnson ahead for Chapman. Up and he's fouled. They'll go to the line. Look at the last steal for Moore.
He's so good at playing those passing lanes. And here, watch this block. And a great idea there, just a pass, keep it alive. Tion Chapman grabs it, knows the shot clock's winding down, able to spin. Beautiful offensive move.
missed on the first free throw. He's 0 for 2 from the line tonight. We have one more coming. The last foul is on Jaden Moore. That's his fourth. Now, not a lot of time left at this point. Do 20. You're going to stick with your guys the rest of the way. Seven-point game. Chapman with 17 points.
Yeah, he's had a big night. Started by hitting the first 3 of the game, too. First varsity start.
Semenko trying to slice through. Ball knocked out of bounds by Young. You thought there could have been a foul there. Instead, it's just off of Josiah Young and out of bounds.
Coach Novak's laughing about it. He's like, there's been 40 calls tonight, you know, worse than that that you've called.
More contact, yeah. Right. 19 on the shot clock. Pass into Jaden Moore. We're down to 2 minutes to go. Hopkins got to hurry even with the shot clock. They need points and possessions here off their possessions. Smith. Shot clock down to 7, and he gets fouled.
Takes another foul, too, and that's going to be 5 on Chapman.
Well, Chapman came in at the 9-minute mark after picking up that 4th foul early in the half and played some terrific minutes. Now, fouls out here with 1:51 to go, but if they end up winning, he had some big plays, especially on offense late in the game here.
Yeah, it really was kind of that second scorer tonight in addition to Isaiah Johnson. His scoring very, very needed. Big-time game.
Anthony Smith hits 2 big foul shots. Timeout here for Hopkins. The 1:51 to go. It's 6-point game. Totino-Grace with the basketball.
And like we talked about in the pregame, John, this is where that shot clock, I think, is a really big deal here. Because normally teams could take a minute and a half off. You'd have to foul. With 35 seconds, you can play defense still without fouling. If you get a stop, you can cut it to a 1-score game. So, Hopkins could eventually play this game without having to go foul. And that's where that shot clock, I think, is a really, really big impact for end-of-game situations.
73-68. Totino-Grace up on Hopkins here. What a great way to start our season.
If you're Totino-Grace, you got to expect you're going to get picked up full court. There's going to be traps. You're going to be, Hopkins is going to be playing those passing lanes, trying to steal a possession here. You got to be strong with the ball, smart with the ball. And on the flip side, if you're Hopkins, you don't want to allow Totino-Grace, especially Isaiah Johnson, to throw over the top and get an easy layup out of this as well.
Here we go, 1:51 to go. Inbound here to Young. He'll throw it ahead to Jacob. Back out to Young. 1:40 to go. Into the hands now of Malachi Hill.
Yeah,
Hill,
exactly what they
pass
needed.
was stolen. Ahead to Smith. Gets blocked by Johnson. Isaiah Johnson, perhaps his biggest play of the game, comes on defense there. Keeps it a 5-point game. Grace with the basketball back. Above the block. Johnson with it again. Puts up a shot and draws the foul.
To your point, that was huge. Just could have cut it to a 3-point game. To do that without contact, not goaltending, still got it on the way up. What an athletic play. Wow.
Fouls on Trey Moore, his second. Johnson to the line to shoot 2.
Free throw is such a big part of closing out teams, closing out games.
1 out of 2, 6-point game. Though still just a 2-possession game. The clock trying to wind down to 1:15 to go. Moore's 3, not good. Rebounded by Hill. Hill will push it into the front court. Ahead to Johnson. Johnson up and in. Used that size and his great body position and able to put it in. Three-pointer up and in and made 3, and that was a big one for Trey Moore. Timeout by Totino-Grace before they could give the 5-second call. With 1 timeout remaining, 46.5. And Trey Moore with that 3 to keep his team within striking distance for Hopkins.
Yeah, big time shot by an 8th grader too, stepping up.
Wow.
Again, yeah, good patience by Totino, right? Great pass to Josiah Young to Isaiah Johnson, and he's just so smooth too, isn't he? Like he plays at such a good pace. He doesn't force it.
He's been unbelievable tonight.
Yeah, he's been great. And with 1:25 left, Anthony Smith on a breakaway layup to cut it to 3 points. That block might have been the play of the game there by Isaiah Johnson.
He's got 30 points. And the big block we saw a moment ago.
Yeah, 30 points, but I mean, some great passes too that have led to open looks, some rebounding, of course. And then I thought another thing that's been pretty underrated but really important tonight is his ability to throw over the top and break pressure too. As a ball handler, he's been really impactful for his team.
All right, there we go. 46.5 seconds to go. Totino-Grace with the basketball. Both teams in the double bonus. Possession arrow, if there is a tie-up, favors Totino-Grace. Johnson always looking up court and does get it there. It's the return pass then from Young, and then a foul with under 40 to go. And you have to do something, right? If you're Hopkins in this case, you can't wait the full 35. Trey Moore commits the foul.
No, and you're going to need misses at this point too. You're going to need a miss or two at the free throw line, another 3, and you got to repeat it. Yeah, they got their miss.
Well, the second one's good. Still a 2-possession game. 77-71. Semenko with it. Right side, under 30 to go. Semenko thought about the 3. Now they'll kick it to the corner. That 3, not good. Follow-up 2 is up and in for Jacob Hudson, and a timeout for Hopkins. Hudson with his first basket tonight makes it 77-73.
Yeah, smart to take that. You got to remember too, Anthony Smith not in the game here in these last minute or so. It's got to be something with his back or injury, I'm assuming. But yeah, you're down 4, and you gotta try to get a steal. You gotta try to force a turnover. See if you can steal a possession. If you can't get it, you don't want to let more than about 7 or 8 seconds go off the floor. You gotta get a foul. Yeah, they got a good look out of that. Moore hit a couple of big 3s here tonight. Got a good look and a nice job finishing there by Hudson. Totino, always telling you guys, you got 1 timeout left. You don't want to get a 5-second call here. So you want to get the ball in, keep it out of the corners. Try not to pick your dribble up unless you have to, and then you got to be available to a teammate.
Moore and Smith, 18 points each for Hopkins, and Semenko with 14. All of his points have come in the second half. Yep. 14 of Moore's 18 points have come in the second half. And Smith just 4 points in limited minutes here.
And I'll tell you, I think if they could have got production from all 3 throughout the game, it might be a totally different game. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
You know, Smith had a pretty big first half. Semenko we didn't hear from in the first half. Those roles were just basically switched.
Jacob inbounds to Johnson.
Oh,
it has it stolen away, and then Johnson gets another block.
Wow.
Throws it ahead to Young. Unbelievable. Isaiah Johnson dominating on both ends of the court.
That was, I was about to say, well, I mean, what a steal. That was exactly what Hopkins needed there. Stealing that ball, great play. I mean, that's just unbelievable athleticism. And again, the wherewithal, throw it ahead. Not only get the stop, but let's get a basket out of it too.
Moore for 3. Foul up at the buzzer by Hart is up and in. And that will do it. And what a win for Totino-Grace in their season opener. Isaiah Johnson, a huge game with 32 points and plays all over the court outside of the points he put in.
72
wins
rebounds,
79-75.
83 blocks. I mean, he did everything tonight. He was awesome tonight. And this game came down to that Totino-Grace had him, Hopkins did not. So what a great game. Both teams, both sides played hard.
Sorry, Ryan, I mentioned the guys that aren't playing tonight that they're big parts of their rotation, that Wagner and Brands are going to get them back. Yeah. And but they look good. And certainly for Hopkins, if Anthony Smith's at full health the whole game, maybe they win. Yeah. Instead they come up short.
And either way, it's an early loss, but it's a really good team, and you only learn and you get better from it. So I just love to see these teams schedule each other, and I think a lot of mutual respect here. These players all know each other. They play together or against each other in the summer. They know there's a ton of talent on the floor. That was just a great game. Both teams, I thought, played incredibly hard. Fun game.
Well, we're going to take a breath, take a break, come back. Our post game next from Hopkins after this. .75, Totino-Grace wins their season opener at Hopkins. Let's go down to Ryan Iverson.
Well, I'm here with Isaiah Johnson. Isaiah Johnson, I mean, what a game tonight. 31 points. I don't know how many rebounds, how many blocks, but you did a little bit of everything. How fun was that game tonight?
It was really fun. I mean, coming into this game, we didn't know if we were going to win or not. I mean, we believed we were going to win, and we prepared really well for this game. It was really fun.
I'll tell you, I mean, I said throughout the broadcast, I love that you guys schedule this type of game for your first game. What were you expecting coming into the road against Hopkins, who's a very good team also?
Very good energy in the gym, which they had. They had a really good student section. They were fast, running, gun, and everything, but we shut them down. We shut their two guys down. It was a really fun game and a really good team effort.
Well, I mean, you had a couple of great dunks. You made a bunch of free throws, great passes. But your ability, I thought, to handle their pressure and throw over the top and be a playmaker was really impressive tonight. Is that something that you've really been working on, making plays for your teammates too?
Yeah, it's been something I really work on. I mean, we practice really hard every day in practice, so I'm kind of used to it by now. And, like, coach just prepares us really well for all this.
Lastly, I mean, tell us a little bit about those two blocks in the last minute and a half. First one on a breakaway. Last one there, someone takes it from you. You respond by pinning it against the backboard. I mean, tell us a little bit about how you were able to do that.
I feel like it was just the energy that the team had. Like, it really got to me, and, like, it makes me want to try my hardest, and then getting those blocks was just a result of all of that.
All right, last question. I was tired just watching you guys get up and down the floor. How was the conditioning first game of the year in a game like that where the pace was so hot?
It was good. Like I said, coach prepares us really well every day, so we do what we need to, whether it's conditioning or handling that pressure. So coach really does prepare us.
All right, well, congratulations on a great game and a big win on the road, Isaiah.
Thank you.
Fun to watch. Yeah, back to you, JJ.
All right, thanks very much, and thanks to Isaiah Johnson. 31 points for him. Grace will be right back here against the defending 4A champion Wayzata Trojans at the Tip-Off Classic this Saturday. Hopkins also playing in the Tip-Off Classic as the host team, and they will take on Eastridge. Great season opener for us on CCX for boys basketball. For Ryan Iverson and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Totino-Grace, two-time defending 3A champion, comes to the Royals Activity Center. They beat Hopkins 79-75. A good night from Minnetonka.